Hi, everyone. My name is Shakira with the Love and Money Podcast. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what to do with your 401k when you leave your job. So, as you know, the great resignation happened. A lot of people left their jobs. And so, I'm just going to talk about what to do with your 401k that is at your former place of employment if you fit into this particular situation. If you don't fit into the situation, um, this is knowledge that you'll have just in case it happens in the future. So, before I do that, I'm going to tell you very quickly what happened to me. As you know, I do an audio podcast also, and I reach out to millionaires, multimillionaires, entrepreneurs. I don't care how high you think you are, or I don't care what your personality is. I don't care if you're humble. I reach out to everybody. And so, actually, I got a surprise in the mail and it came in this box. And I'm thinking, this is not a dress. It's way too heavy to be a dress. So I'm looking in this box trying to find a dress. And so, um, well, first I had to put two and two together to find out where this came from. But so this is what I got. It's a box of books sent to me from a multimillionaire. And I'm like, okay, where's the dress at? Or even where's the money? I don't see any money in this box. So this is what I get. But it's very nice because I do not know him at all. Just somebody I happen to reach out to. So this is what came in the box. Delivering Happiness, A Path to Profits, Passion and Purpose by Tony Hsieh. Book number 1. The Richest Man in Babylon. You know, I did read this book already, and I don't know why people like this book so much because they say the word niggardly in here like 1,000 times. And I'm like, excuse me, do you see them repeating this word in this book? I don't know if you can see if or not you're reading. Can you see what word they're saying? It's like 1,000 times. Niggardly, niggardly, niggardly. So when people tell me this is their favorite book, I look at you like you're out of your mind. Okay? Richest Man in Babylon. The Hero Code by it's Lessons Learned from Lives Well Lived by Admiral William H. McRaven. So I keep looking, I keep more and more books. Leadership and Self-Deception, Getting Out of the Block. Keep going, it keeps going. Extreme Ownership, How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. The Power of Moments by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. It keeps going. Mastery by George Leonard, author of The Way of Aikido, The Keys to Success and Long-Term Fulfillment. So it's a very nice surprise. Thank you if you're watching. I appreciate it. Another book, Grits, Angelo Duckworth, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. So I keep looking and I keep digging in this box. It's two what do you call these things? Book holders to keep your page. So I keep looking and I'm like, there's no money in here. Do you see any money? I see absolutely no money. So I guess what that tells me is nobody is not going to give you a dime. That's what it tells me. But I do appreciate the gift. Very nice, especially coming from someone that I do not know. And I do plan to read all these books. I love to read. And I just wanted to share them with you because we hear about different books all the time, like listening to different podcasts and stuff. But these books in particular, they're not books that I would have picked on my own. So I do appreciate it. And so now I'm going to talk about what to do with your 401k, the reason why you tuned in. And so basically, if you have your 401k with your last employer, you have four different options. Number one, you can call the brokerage, and have them send you the check to get all of your money out. So that's what you absolutely do not want to do because they're going to take a huge amount of money out for taxes and penalties. So never withdraw your money and tell them to send you a check. That's number one option. Don't do it. Second option, you can leave the money there with the old company. And then the other options are the direct rollovers. And so that's what I wanted to key in on is the direct rollovers. You can get a direct rollover to traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. And it's very important to know the difference because this is where taxes and penalties come in. If you get it rolled over to Roth IRA, they're going to charge you taxes and penalties, and you're going to be paying 35% or more of whatever your balance is. So you're going to lose a lot of money if you do a direct rollover to Roth IRA. So don't do that. So the last option is to do a direct rollover to traditional IRA. And if you do a direct rollover to traditional IRA, you pay no money in taxes and no money in penalties. Traditional IRA, and the reason why a lot of people choose to do that is because you can take the money in the traditional IRA and put it into whatever fund you decide to, put it wherever you decide. But if you leave it with the company, then the company, you have to choose whatever the company offers. And so that's one of the reasons why people decide to do the direct rollover to the traditional IRA because instead of going with whatever the company offers, in a traditional IRA, you can put the money wherever you decide. So it leaves you more options. So it's very important when it comes to taxes and penalties. If you're not sure when it comes to direct rollover, ask the person that you're talking to on the phone at the brokerage. If I do a direct rollover, am I going to have to pay taxes and penalties? And they will tell you, and be sure that you know that before you roll anything over, because the plan is you're not going to lose money by paying taxes and penalties. So be very careful with that and make sure that you always ask before you do it, am I going to be paying anything in taxes or penalties? So, like I said before, rolling over to a traditional IRA, you don't pay taxes and penalties. Rolling it over to a Roth IRA, you do pay taxes and penalties. It's going to be 35% or higher. So always ask, 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 ask. Ask a lot of questions when you call up the brokerage and you talk to them. Now, what is a brokerage? A brokerage is your Fidelities, your Vanguards, your Charles Schwabs. There are others out there, but that's what a brokerage is, just in case you might not be familiar with the term. And so I'm going to talk to you about what happens if you have a loan on your 401k. because some people get in predicaments where they take a loan out on their 401k. Maybe they need the money and they don't have it in any other place but their 401k. So if you had a loan on your 401k that you took out a while ago and is slowly being paid off, in that case, you can do a direct rollover if you have a loan, but they're going to charge you again, uh, anywhere from 30% or higher. They're going to charge you taxes and penalties on that money because you have a loan. So, say for example, you have a loan of $3,500 remaining. So, they're going to, first of all, if you do a direct rollover and you owe money on a loan like 3,500, you're going to default on that loan, plus you're going to owe 30% in fees. So take 30% of the 3,500 that you owe, and that's how much they're going to charge you. So a better option in that case is if you have a loan on your 401k, is to just leave your loan at the previous place of employment, the previous brokerage for the time being until you are able to pay that loan off. And at the time that the loan is paid off, then you can go ahead and do a direct rollover. That way, you're not being charged these extra 30% fees and higher. So, how do you pay off your loan if you're not working? Um, what you can do is they can do you can set up automatic withdrawals. Say that you have savings, you can do automatic withdrawals, and it can be for forever how much you um, decide. And that way they can do automatic withdrawals out of your checking account, and it goes into your brokerage account every month so that it is steadily paying down that 401k loan month by month, a steady pay down. And so when you are paying it, you're still paying yourself back, because even though you're taking money out of your checking account, it is going into the brokerage. So it's, even though it's paying back the loan, it's still a form of investing because that money is going back into your brokerage account. So I just wanted to talk about that just in case you're in a situation that you may have a 401k loan and how that would affect the direct rollover. So I'm also going to talk about some of the differences of the funds that people can possibly be in. Some of the ones that are um, considered to be good funds. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but some funds, for example, with Fidelity, there's the Fidelity 500, which is actually mirroring the S&P 500, the 500 largest U.S. companies. And then, so say that your money is in Fidelity and you want the stocks that Vanguard offers. So just comparing the Fidelity 500 with the VTSAX and Vanguard, which is the Vanguard total stock market, just comparing the two. Say that you want to make this transfer, but you're not doing it right now because of everything that's going on with the loan that you have. So I'm just going to give you, I'm just going to compare these two funds, the Fidelity 500 and the VTSAX. And so the Fidelity 500, that is the 500 largest U.S. companies, and this is considered large cap U.S. stocks. So the 500 companies that are doing well. Then if you go over to VTSAX, Vanguard Total Stock Market, instead of only 500 companies, there are 4,139 companies. 4,139 stocks or companies. So the reason why people like VTSAX is because it offers a broad range of companies. So if one goes down, you still got 4,138. So that's why people generally like that. Instead of offering just a large cap with the Fidelity 500, the VTSAX it's small, mid, and large. And so some of the things inside of the Fidelity 500 are um, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Meta, which is formerly Facebook, uh, Nvidia, Berkshire, United Health. Those are just some of the companies. Then, when you go over to VTSAX, you're going to see basically the same companies: VTSAX Holdings, Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, Berkshire, United Health, JP Morgan. But essentially, that's essentially the difference. Fidelity, it offers a 16.54% annual return within 10 years, um, 11.2 with life. VTSAX, it offers a 16.29 annual return over 10 years. So basically, those are the basic differences. So those are some of the things that you want to look at when you decide on what funds you want to get in. You are looking at what is going to give you the biggest return for your money. And if you just look it up, they'll tell you. They'll tell you what the returns are. And then you can plug it in to a compound interest calculator and see how much money you would have over a 10-year period, or if you want to do a 20-year period. Bankrate has some good compound interest calculators. You can go to Bankrate, put your numbers in, figure out how much you need to be putting in every month, uh, put in that annual rate of return. Generally, people put in an 8% annual return to be modest, but the average is really around 10 to 12%. But you can go and play around with those compound interest calculators. Bankrate has one. Also, Dave Ramsey's investment calculator. I like his calculator also. So, just some things to make you aware of what's going on in case you left your job, or if you plan on leaving your job, or if you just happen to leave your job in the future. What to do with that money that you left behind. So, essentially, you're going to either leave it there if you decide, or do a direct rollover into the traditional IRA, because that way you're not paying any taxes or penalties. And then after you get situated, then you can figure out how to transfer that traditional IRA into the Roth IRA. But whatever you do, make sure you ask plenty of questions so that you're not being taxed and you're not paying any penalties on your money. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. This is just for educational and informational purposes only. And so that is what is going on. Also, just a side note, if you're watching this video, I would like for you to be aware of Havana Syndrome, or what Havana Syndrome is. Um, it's an undercover secret crime. If you know about COINTELPRO, then I would like for you to research Havana. And if you don't know what COINTELPRO is, I'd like for you to research COINTELPRO, because people may have thought that has gone away, but it's come back and it's in a different form now. With technology being the way it is, people are smarter. People are able to do things in the dark. People are able to use technology for evil and not good. And so I would like for you to research COINTELPRO if you don't know what that is. and research Havana Syndrome if you don't know what that is. And for example, one example of the way that people they do crimes against innocent people, for example, um, and one thing they do uh, would be, for example, is sending radiation to your face that you could feel here. Radiation, as you know, radiation is very dangerous. It's cancer causing. Um, some people have ended up developing Parkinson's in late age, and this is all things that it's not visible to the eye. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It's like a film that they just send to your face, sending radiation to your face. Other people are targeted in different ways. They use actual lasers. If you look up wicked lasers, I like for you to teach yourself what that is. I don't want you to be walking around oblivious. Like, you know about the different weapons, you know about guns and shootings, you know about the crimes that they're doing in the hood. But I want you to know about the white collar crime. I want you to know about what what they're doing with white collar, not what you just see on the news. So look up Havana Syndrome, look up COINTELPRO, and just become more aware of what is going on in the world, how people are being targeted secretly right in front of your face that you don't even know. Um, I like for you to look up what gang stalking is and how people are being harassed by gang stalking right in front of your face and you don't even know what's going on. So that's just a side note that I want to bring up because I want you to be smart. You're already smart, I know, but I want you to know about the evil that goes on secretly. And I want you to be free financially. I want you to be happy and I want you to live the best life that you can for you. It's not all about money, it's about balance. It's about being free financially, it's about having the relationships, the love of your life, better family relationships. It's about eating right and being healthy and putting good things in your body and not succumbing to the the uh, the foods that your body craves. Like your body craves for your your body is not craving for healthy food, right? Your body is craving for sugar and um, cake and ice cream, and your body is not craving healthy foods. That's for sure. So um, think about your health. Like, how is this going to affect you when you're older, when you're 80 and 90? Do you want to just be sitting in a rocking chair staring at TV all day? I know that's not the kind of life I want to live. So kind of think about now, what are you doing to your body right now? Do you want, when you're 80, 90, do you want to be running and jumping in marathons? Like, I ran the marathon and there were a couple of guys in their 80s and they were in front of me in the marathon. They were ahead of me in the marathon. Do you want to be like that? Or do you want to be um, laying in a hospital bed or stuck to your rocking chair watching TV all day? So just think about things like that: balance, financial freedom, good relationships, love, real love. Not, I'm not talking about this low level surface. I'm talking about real love, quality relationships, and health. Just being completely well rounded all the way around. It's not all about money, it's about people, love, and relationships. And then thinking about other people. What are other people going through? These secret crimes that are happening right in front of your face that you're not even aware of. Like, just become more knowledgeable and more empathetic to what other people are going through. So
This is the Love and Money Podcast with Shakira. If you like this podcast, please share it with one other person. Please hit the like button on your way out. It helps the algorithm. And have a great night.